Skepticism remains an ever-present thorn in the side of epistemology. Descartes thought that he could answer the skeptic only by proving the existence of a non-deceiving God, whose existence would exclude the possibility that he is being deceived by an all-powerful, malicious demon. But Descartes' arguments for God's existence were marred by the problem of circularity, because the very ideas he relied on to justify his belief in God could only themselves be believed if God existed and was not deceiving him. Descartes was an infallibilist, someone who holds that for knowledge to be possible, it is necessary to eliminate every possibility that one might be wrong. Some philosophers find infallibilism too demanding, since it is practically impossible to eliminate every possibility that one might be in error, including eliminating the possibility of deception on this global scale. The opposite view, fallibilism, has some odd consequences though. The fallibilist holds that when we attribute knowledge to someone, we are not excluding the possibility that what they know could turn out to be false. These are often referred to as concessive knowledge attributions. To be a fallibilist, I must be comfortable saying, for example, that I know that there are more African elephants than Asian elephants, while acknowledging that I could be wrong. If we must concede the possibility that we are wrong every time we make a knowledge claim, you might wonder what entitles us to attribute knowledge claims at all. Why don't we stick to the more conservative path and only attribute beliefs? For better or worse, knowledge attributions play an important role in our discourse. They have not, for all the arguments levelled against them by skeptics over the centuries, gone away. On one theoretical approach to knowledge attributions, studying the way in which knowledge attributions function in our language holds the key to answering the skeptic. This is the view known as contextualism. Contextualists claim that what we mean by the verb to know varies from context to context. In philosophical contexts, it may be very difficult, perhaps impossible even, to establish that anyone knows anything with certainty. But in ordinary discourse, we use the verb to know frequently and accurately. I know that I have hands. What could be more straightforward? Whether someone knows that they have hands or not, for example, will have different answers depending on whether the context is one of ordinary conversation or a philosophy lecture. You might think that this is a lousy way of dodging the skeptic's bullet. But consider what the skeptic is asking. The skeptic is demanding that in order to know something, I must have eliminated every possibility for error. But what does every refer to? There is no definitive answer to that question, because, as contextualists point out, every is a context-sensitive term. If I said to my class, everyone needs to be at the exam by 9 a.m, I don't mean everyone in the world. What's reasonable to infer in this context is that every just refers to those enrolled in my class. So too, in order to know that there are more elephants in Africa than Asia, I have to eliminate every possibility for error in the relevant domain of international elephant counting. I do not, so the contextualist argument goes, have to eliminate the possibility that a malicious genie exists and is deceiving me. Well, all this sounds very reasonable in practice, but there is always the worry that contextualism wins out against the skeptic only by changing the subject, by breaking that connection between knowledge and the absolute certainty that many think is necessary to defeat the skeptic for good.